welcome. Let me just plug in my computer so it doesn't die. I think I really am gonna have to get the battery for this computer fixed maybe next month. I'll have the, because it's about $200, which isn't bad for a battery. It's just I would have to be gone without the computer probably for a little bit. I mean, I have my work computer, so it will be fine. But yeah, I think I really do need to get it, because now it's starting to do a thing where when it gets to like 10% battery or lower, that's when it wants to shut off. So for right now, we're just grinding for levels because I'm weak. I'm a weak person. I failed at everything last time, so. But you know what? Where is the vacation? More fun in the sun. Yes. I think it's this one. No, this one. I wish it would show me what the monsters are. But we'll do this one. Because this one has like multiple in one sitting, so I think it'll be good. But yeah, today was pretty good. Quite busy. More meetings than I was expecting. Well, I was expecting 2 meetings. But I wasn't expecting the 3rd meeting. But in all honesty, I am glad. Because basically now I'm back to working on stuff. We're doing like we have to do accessibility, like tests and reports right now, because come next year we need to be ADA accessibility compliant with all of the websites and pages and stuff. Due to, it's not like it's a requirement as in like all of the internet needs to be this, but however, a lot of our clients are required to. So our clients are required to be to have these accessibility, and their vendors and who they associate with and work with are required to have those. So now we're prepping now because it's going to be a lot of work to make these updates to be compliant. A lot of these are like small things, but they're considered serious or critical errors. But first we have to like find out, like we know when we do a scan that we have a bunch of errors, but we don't know what exactly are the errors in order to be compliant. But so yeah, I was working with my coworker today in the afternoon, and now I'm going to be doing keyboard testing using browser stack? Yeah, browser stack. But it's like pretty, like I'm gonna be doing a report, but like I'm kind of familiar with it because I did have to do like accessibility testing years and years ago for one of our now we have new tools and things like that to do everything. It's nice, like this kind of stuff is what I like. I like to, you know, work on like testing and looking at these things or researching. Like thankfully our boss is A-okay with the new PDF solution we're gonna choose, because we were using Sendout. Oh, I could tell you so much shit. Okay, good. These are the monsters I wanted to Man, I forgot to quit the silence ring, and I wanted to, because I know they'd be silenced.
Activating combat mode.
give us a month to go from, based on like the stuff that the features that we go from $15 to $87. So we were at we don't really need features they claim that it's really nothing of importance that we all we cared about is the PDF stamping and the limits of hours. That's all. But yeah, they only give 2 months. So I like my boss wanted to, or my manager wanted to basically, see what we can do to kind of get around it. Like, because they weren't clear with what was gonna happen. Like, basically they were saying, oh, like if you keep if you don't change it, because there was kind of just the future. There was just like a thing in our Shopify that told us like plan by this date, but it didn't tell us really what the price was. But on Shopify, it said $87. We're like, where did this come from? Why is this? It didn't tell us anything what the reasoning was. It just gave us that price it was gonna be. So we were trying to figure out, like, as they said, like, oh, versus like it won't be full, like basically they said so basically they said you can keep your legacy plan, but you need to charge an extra fee after this date. And we wanted to see what that charge was gonna be. Like, how much actually was it gonna be to just like remain on the legacy plan? And they were being really like typical of that. They basically I had to really push, like, how much is this fee? Like, how much is the actual fee for a plan? I need to believe it. And so the eventually was going to be both the $15 plus the fee. But they didn't write it in writing or is that Rob again? Is that Rob again? And then we were like, oh, we'll just like keep it. And they're like, no, like, we'll just keep it as is. Like, what will happen? And they're like, no, you have to figure a way it's just like the freeze period is only for 6 months. And they basically were like, if you don't change the plan, they'll eventually remove the legacy plan, and then they literally basically were like, because you know about this and stuff, so they're not going to erase or anything, give us nothing to work with us. It's a big jump. They're like, oh, if you don't do this, basically we'll cancel your account, and when you cancel your account, no one will be able to get their previous orders or previous downloads, because we have a limit of 3 products. Nobody will be able to go and download their stuff or use their stuff, or they can't go back data and stuff. So they basically just threatened us a little bit, so we had to eventually change it back. We had to change it to what they were, but after that, I was like, this is bullshit. So my manager asked me to. I found an alternative that is literally the app extension on Shopify. Same price, same stuff. And also, I found out just recently from my boss that not only, because like, they write it in the plan that, oh, like, you get like it's like a 15-cent charge or something like that. I did not know that, like, they charge us for every order that is used that month, not just every purchase past a certain threshold. They would, if people use their download, like they download it only once and then they decide to like download again another month, we would be charged for that second download. Compared to this new solution where it's just we only get charged extra if we pass the threshold, and we're not gonna. Even when we launched our our new one, we did not do it. So yeah, this is gonna be. So I'm gonna work on that next week, along with a bit of a boss, or like interchangeably, but they're two different people. Boss, CEO, manager, They totally are in love. They don't say it, but they're totally in love. Holy smokes! Yeah, it's getting tired. I'm gonna redo this level just because I think that this is a good level to level up, hopefully. At least with the thingy. They aren't too bad. They don't hurt me too much like with the I was about to call them chickens, with the ostriches with arms. This is why I want one. But yeah, dealt with that. Thankfully he said yes. Now I understand, like now, because he made like an example, like if somebody used like 10,000 orders for some reason, it would be like 1,000 some odd dollars just for 10,000 people not even buying, just using their orders. That's ridiculous, and that is so ridiculous. I did not realize that we were getting charged so much, so this is like just a far better solution. Maybe it won't be as customizable or like crazy, but like honestly, we just care about the PDF stamping and limited downloads. We don't have like that much digital products. So yeah, just next week I will ask for us to do the overlap of the subscription, move everything over, and then cancel our send out. Goodbye send out. It is hilarious though, because I've been looking at their Trustpilot. Actually, I've been looking at their Trustpilot. They were like almost a 5.0 company. they were literally like almost a 5, like they were like a 5 or like a 4.0 or something like that. They are now at 1. Oh, it went down even further. It was a 1.8 like just like a week ago or something like that. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, 15 hours ago. You know what's crazy though? Like, I was looking at these reviews and everything. Sorry, I'm just like totally shitting on them, but they deserve it. They deserve it. They did such a bad job of. Because the thing is, all like they're basically just screwing over all the legacy plans. Basically, like they already had the newer plans and the newer pricing for new customers. They're just like they forcibly change the plans for all new people. And some people were even saying because they took away their free plan. So they took away their free plan and then started charging people who were on a free plan. They started charging them the $39. Because the lowest plan now, it used to be $15 or free. They're like, no more free plan, no more $15 legacy plan. Going into, and the legacy plan goes to the, so I guess the legacy plan, it goes to the $87, but then the free plan, people then were just suddenly being charged $39, which is like, I think that's really shitty. I can understand with us, like it kind of really sucks, but we at least were paying and we had our card information, but they had charged people who were free plans. They just suddenly started charging some of these people who were free, and now we're not expecting it at all. When you sign up for a free account, you are not expecting to suddenly be charged, unless it's like a free trial thing. But that's not the case. They just had a free account, and they just started charging them. I don't know how they were able to do. Oh, because of the Shopify. That's why. If they're on Shopify, like it probably builds the Shopify, and then they get it. Yeah, let's look at this. Automatic place on the starter. Okay. Oh, here it is. This person. This very person from 15 hours ago. I last used $10 in 2020 when there was a free plan. I logged in today and was asked to provide a bank card to verify my identity, which I did. I was then automatically placed on the starter plan at $39 without my consent. I'm sure there are terms and conditions comes like this somewhere. But on the page, it clearly appears that entering your card details is only for identity verification, not to subscribe. I can now see a pending charge of $27.70 on my account. I've closed my account and requested a refund. This is not a way to do business. If your project is good enough, you should not be succeeding. Oh, you did like a 7-day free trial. Some people, it's like the price was raised like at 500% for them. Sometimes because of that whole extra charge thing, the 15-cent thing, and it's to like everybody who uses it that much, who uses the service or the product that much. That is so fucked up. That is so greedy. I did not even realize that. Signed up believing I was only getting a free trial, but unexpectedly charged $33 in 1 month. Oh. Okay, this person, they're still annoyed, but they gave a good review where they're like, I'm another dissatisfied customer with the price increase. The price went from $30 per month to almost $1,000 per month with no tangible product. I guess they gave it a good one, just so because they like the product, but then it's bad. They did a bad thing. Like, I understand as someone who does like deals with like subscriptions and stuff like that, and we do get some people who get I can never imagine. Like, if we tried to do some shady shit, I would tell them, no, do not learn from Sendal's experience. This is bad. It is so bad. Like we're looking up like for our ALS like just reviewing like fund policy thing.
Activating combat mode.
We're not forcing I'm just like changing the price on them. We're just trying to make it so that I don't have to like they straight up told me on my Twitter that they want to prevent me from having to deal with people who think that they can get a return. This week. What happened in the past? I just want to eventually handle it. Maybe I can handle like a weird specified specific circumstances or something. I could be like the citizen or something like that with someone else. I would rather do. I would be fine doing operational stuff along with the stuff. Destroy these guys. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be this time. A little much, but you know what? You know what? I'm taking my time. How dare you, bugs? How dare you? I totally did this again, and I did not think, but another summon! Oh yeah, we'll do him again. He loves me. I'm not getting any of the other summons down. Oh, hell yeah, level up. That was my day today, was much better. It's gonna be a little weird having our come back in 11. But I do hope that she comes, you know, with open arms with our things like that. Like, more so, you know, that they hurt less stressed and like anxious, or they're like more confused. Doesn't need to be involved. Like, obviously knowing the cell, knowing the numbers is good. But she doesn't need to be so involved. Doesn't need to be questioning. We've done really well despite like all of the challenges. And there's been a lot of challenges. And like we're noticing a pattern where people are just losing longer. People used to just like immediately be like, yes, we want them. And now it's just, it was easy. Because like they didn't, it was of no circumstance. Like they were like, we want them to be trained, or we want to advertise. But now they have to like immediately understand people that have budgets cut, their teams are shrinking. So it would just take longer. It takes longer. You have to do a little bit more. It doesn't mean that we're being forced, because we're not. The jobs, though, is a little bit more serious. But, you know, when you damn you, son, how dare you! boss had asked me to make a document and send it her way. Basically to like prepare her with like her rundown on the last 4 months and everything. Oh, we're just gonna have a normal Genesis? Oh, fucking no. This is why you don't gamble. Do not gamble. You actually don't. I was taught a really useful. I was taught a really useful thing. Oh, I my mom taught me a really useful thing where it's like you have a certain amount of money regionally assigned to spend. And if you win, you happen to win a big amount of money, pull it out and and once you lose that amount of money, then you just cash out what you want to spend. And you pay for the entertainment, and that's that. That's the expectation. Because there was one time when I went to Vegas with my mom, and there was this man who was playing he was playing but the summons just pulled me a little. Maybe because they seem freakishly like realistic or something. They pull me a little bit out of it. They just don't seem to match. Maybe because the environments are it's kind of realistic, but not as realistic.
Yeah. ファーストって待遇も特別なのかい？
どうして俺に聞くんだ？
いや、あんたって他のソルジャーと違うとこ多いし。
ファーストのことはラザードにでも聞いてみろ。
なんだ、機嫌悪かったのか。
お前そんなことも知らないでファーストやってんの？
あ
と専用の装備が持てて、支給品以外の使用が認められてて、それから命令の拒否権もあるとかないとか。って人の話聞けよ。
Put on one muscle. At a minimum, I need to use a muscle. Because as you get older, you start losing muscle, and also you have to. It's actually kind of after. What's the system along with it? And how your body processes. It is just much better. Like, it maintains your weight and also assists with sleeping as well. I am at a certain distance. Probably after this, I'll do squats. So, with the base that you have some arm lifts. But I am drinking more because we have so many. I had bought some oat milk. I didn't mean to get oat milk, but it was really the only like flavored milk that was a reasonable price at the market today because they just closed off an entire section of like the milk. Hello, Vernon. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well today. Hopefully you didn't have 3 offices today. little tired, but took a nap after work. That's good. How are the voids? Hopefully the voids are good. My voids, man, Cube had been such a little butt face. Is that Cube over there? That is over there. He stole Sabrina's spot. Just they're fed. That's good. I think that Sabrina has been like stealing his food because in the morning sometimes he's just so rambunctious, like early enough that I still need to sleep, so I have to lock him in the bathroom. Not lock, I close the door, I close him into the bathroom. But then I'll sleep through the food going out, and then she'll eat both of the food. usually yelling at us for food. Yeah. Oh wait, I need to change my thing so I stop having stuff on my thing. Prevent silence. Okay, yes, this is what I want. Okay, today for me has been good. I got to do some more background, web stuff.
Yes.
I had a good meeting with my coworker because she's having a half day tomorrow and then Friday, so I'm gonna assist if there's any need to assist with like sales. And then I had another meeting with another coworker where we decided that. So you know, I showed you where where it shows on the pricing, like when you're not on the pricing page, but where you're gonna check out with the stuff where it shows that. We're gonna add the TOS, like a mention of the TOS, also on the sign up page. So they have four now. So then they have two different places where we show them the TOS, and they have an opportunity to read it. So then they really, it's like we showed it to you twice. We didn't hide it from you. It was right above the buttons. Because as of right now, we have to consult a lawyer before we make any like changes to any TOSs or anything like that. So we can't really do that, but we can add that. So that's what we're gonna do. And then him and I, we had like come to the conclusion that yet again, basically, when our manager comes back, she will need to take over for like our product stuff, and like. We kind of really want to keep her in that, like, managing our product stuff. We're not trying to worry about all the other things like marketing and sales and social media and all that other stuff. She should just worry about us having good product and her communicating with the devs and things like that. And yeah, we report like the high level stuff to her and the numbers and stuff like that, but her not worrying about anything else. Her stop questioning them. She needs to stop questioning us and stuff. So, because we have made lots of strides. Even me, even though I feel like I haven't, but because I look at the accomplishments of my coworkers and stuff, and it just seems so good. But I've done good stuff too. I do need to remind myself. I mean, even though the jobs board is like suffering, there just aren't like many jobs, and people, even if we give them like an opportunity, a couple of them were saying, hey, we got it, we don't need the outside. So actually I should keep those messages and show them. But I was the one that had made a decision to like start adding not just our premium posts, but other posts in our social media. And I feel like it's been giving our job board more numbers, but also more engagement on our LinkedIn that we've been wanting, because we have a huge audience on LinkedIn, but not much engagement. So we've been like, I've helped improve that with that decision, along with our Jobswire newsletter that we have, where I just like changed the subject line to like have it with a new position, like when someone out positions or something on the thing. We've gotten way more clicks. And Jobswire used to always just like just because it was a small amount. And of course we had a major migration, and oh yeah, I helped out also with another newsletter thing that we had a lot of really important stats and successes there. Helped out with our campaign, our 5-year campaign. So yeah, there was a lot of successes and everything that I was also a part of. How fucking dare you just cock blocking like that? Give it to me.
ファーストへの道はそれほど甘くないぞ。必要なのは強さだけじゃないんだ。
そんなこと分かってる。でも俺はファーストになりたいんだよ。
いいかザックス。ファーストになりたいなら
夢と誇りを忘れてはいけない。そして俺の夢は英雄になること。
分かった。ならば応援してやる。ソルジャーの誇りを見せてみる。
It is still hilarious that he does this all on his and he has a parasol as his sword. It kind of reminds me of like Mod. John, come on. Come home. Hell yeah. If I do. Hell yeah, Cloud! because I have like a little table sometimes. I have a little table that makes computers on. I set computers on. And sometimes I use that little table as like a nightstand now. Because I can use how much that is. Come on, Genesis. Okay, oh yeah, I'm at 3% now. But this morning, so the guy from Monday had replied to my because like I wrote down like I understand I like apologize for bothering him because I wanted to kind of not manipulate the situation but kind of like spin it because I already knew that the problem was so I wanted to basically ask him so that he could tell me what happened. And then I could, pretend that I just now fixed it, solved it, and, also now I'm like, alright, we refunded you, but I told him, like, I'm sorry for bothering you, and then he's like, he replied back, and he said, no, I wasn't frustrated, I was mad. And then he proceeded to tell me how he has, like, 11 certifications to maintain, and they're expensive. He was mad because he was expecting that money to go towards like a conference that he wanted to go to. How's our mission count? I'm at 38%. It's just I'm leveling up because like you weren't here for the last you weren't here for my last time I was done this. I literally failed every fucking mission. I could not pass a single mission. So this is why we're here. Leveling up our stuff. I literally failed every single of them. And proceeded to fall on me. It's okay. You know what? It is okay to show. As long as you persevere. That's why we're practicing right now. Trying to do that. But yeah, he proceeded to tell me how he was mad and not frustrated. Well, I like explained to him like because he was like he said that we like hit it like he did not hide it. He was evening, good evening. Hopefully your day has been well. My day today was actually pretty well. Very busy, but pretty well. I did do a little overtime. I have to start to do tomorrow, work a little later. Not soon. Yeah, I was being a little shady and mean to, not to my coworkers, but telling my coworkers like about this guy where, like, I have a bit of sympathy for him. He was a bit in the right and everything, but it's just how when he finally got a hold of me, he was not nice and it wasn't appropriate. How is the bosses? And I am doing really well. Today was pretty good. I have like a new assignment where I'm working on basically in April of 2026, there are certain companies and the like online that need to fit a certain web accessibility. They're required to comply. A lot of them are like schools and the like, and a lot of our clients are schools. So we're starting to see it where these schools are asking us if we are ADA web accessibility compliant. As of right now, we are not, but we're working on a report. Basically, we're at the stage where they're asking if we have a report of our accessibility and what we're going to be doing to make us compliant by next year. Because even though it's not like a widespread, like every single website I don't think needs to be compliant, but certain organizations are required to. And the caveat is not only do the organizations have to be compliant, their vendors and who they work with are required to be ADA web accessibility compliant. So we're required to be, because in order for them to work with us, we're required to be compliant by next year. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a VPAT. It's basically I'm doing a report where I'm going over based on these certain points. It's like 1.1 all the way to like 1.1.1, all the way to like 4.2 or 3.2. I think is the amount, like these little like subcategories of the different like accessibility things, such as like color contrast, readability of words. Are things clickable when you like there's a keyboard tabbing thing? Yeah, so I'm doing basically the report for that now. As of right now, I'm doing a keyboard test, which is basically for all of our pages. We have like a browser extension that I am working on, working through where it does the test, and then I'm like testing to verify the tabs. Where basically there is certain things where sometimes there are people who are only able to access a computer and navigate a site through tabbing the keyboard. So when you press tab, you should be able to go through every clickable item throughout the entire page of the website, and then be able to click enter to be able to click on whatever link it needs to. So we're testing the elements. Basically, I'm doing the keyboard test, the tabbing test for all these pages. And then, if it is that it is accessible, it's just the testing thing was not reading it properly, then I will say, if it's not, then we do need to report it as an issue, and then we'll have to come back and fix it later.
モンスターは全部倒したぞ。
So that is my new assignment.
ちゅうわけで
Basically, I do a lot of QA testing, but I have done web accessibility testing stuff years ago for a different project. But now we're doing it on this, like, because we really do need it. We have a lot of errors that we have to fix.
よし
Because like we're web accessibility A, level A, but we need to be level AA compliance now. Like back years ago, level A was okay, but now we need to be level AA or level AAA compliant. So yeah. Oh yeah, but then I was being shady with my coworkers. I see. Yes, I was being shady with my coworkers. So basically, with the guy from Monday who was rude to me over the phone, it's resolved. But like, he explained why he was mad. He was mad because he has 11 certifications. I don't know how or why he. Like, it is a good accomplishment. But also at the same time, I'm like. He has 11 certifications to maintain, and they're expensive to maintain. Which I know, at least for one of the certifications that I teach. I don't teach the class, but I manage the class for people to basically take our class so that they can pass this certification exam. I'm the one who manages that class. We're the number one class. We're the only comprehensive class for this certification. And just to take that exam itself, just to register, it's like $300, and then it's like another $300 in order to. It's free to sign up, I think, but you have to then it's free to like set your date, but you have to pay $300 to initially register for the exam, and then you also have to pay another $300 to then verify your experience. And then, if you want to transfer your thing to another exam cycle or something, you then need to pay another $100. So it's very expensive. Like if you have to maintain something similar to that each time, and also take like prep, like our prep class for the standard is $300. But we're not affiliated with the actual exam people. So I can understand, but he was like saying he wasn't frustrated, that he was mad because he has all these. I'm just like, I was being shady with my coworkers, I'll be honest. I was being shady with my coworkers because I'm like, well, you know, based on how you treated me, maybe you need all, you know, maybe you need 11 certifications to be able to, you know, do stuff. That's just me being, me being a little spiteful. Obviously, if I never met this person and didn't have a bad experience with them, it's a big accomplishment. I could definitely recognize that. And it's just like even after I tried to like fix things and give them the olive branch and also refunded them, even though they were really rude. Can't you realize that I'm trying to fix a situation and you don't actually, you know, be a jerk about it? Maybe in their next email to me they'll realize. But also maybe they'll just never talk to me again and then I never have to revisit. So there's that. I talk about it because I rarely do get bad customers. Like in this current job, most of our customers are very lovely. I was on the phone with a guy actually today. Which was really cool. Yeah, I'm like the IT person as well. And he was so nice over the phone. He was very sweet. He was using our courses, and for some reason the sound wasn't working. It worked on the intro videos of the course, but not the rest of the course. So, you know, I just like calmly in my very calm customer service voice, and I was like, well, is your browser sound on? Is it unmuted? Is it muted? Well, here's the troubleshooting thing for Vimeo, because we host our videos on Vimeo, and maybe you need to here, you know, like what browser are you on your phone? Maybe you need to update your phone. So I went like that. I guess he'd work in IT being kind of annoying. Thankfully, most of the time the issues are almost always the same. So it's not that difficult. Sometimes I do understand there was a time when my poor aunt, since most customers are used to talking to level 1 IT personnel, yeah, sometimes they get really, I thankfully when it's a technical issue, most of the time people avoid it. You know, maybe they're frustrated in email, but usually I'm able to figure out what the problem is, and then I can the biggest issue that we get, the most common issue that we have is just that the person's on the wrong website. Because we have multiple websites, most of the time if they are on our course site, but then they go, like, they just don't go on it for a while, and then they just search it up. They'll go to the main website, but they're not connected. Accounts are not connected, or anything like that. I think that's the first time I saw it. That's the first time I saw that. John, please! Do not.
応援を呼ばれると厄介だ。俺が敵を引きつける。確実に倒してくれ。
任せとけって。
run away. Wow, he just has a gun.
何をしている応援を呼ばれてしまったぞ
Whoops. I mean, it's okay. I could take care of this. But thankfully, yeah, most of the time it's just they're on the wrong website, or their browser is like, because sometimes also like the browser you kind of have to allow pop-ups to show up or something. Sometimes, because these are a lot of these are government workers, sometimes it's just their IT on their end blocks. Actually, I dealt with it today. We had like a group thing where you're supposed to get an email with a link so that they can register. Sometimes, nowadays, the risk of these like invoices you don't know much about scams, accidentally scammed, or having their computers compromised. So some ITs, their firewall do not allow links in emails to get sent to them. So like an entire group did not get the email. So I ended up using the manual recall accounts system. I had to call like the person and help them out and explain the procedure I was gonna do. So thankfully it's not like too bad, but I love my aunt dearly, but it took me 45 minutes to learn how to add a browser, a new browser to a computer. 45 minutes. And there was a time, okay, there was one kind of frustrating time, but thankfully I was able to be professional and conversational. But I remember I was on the phone with a gentleman who was really convinced, even though he did not want to put his card on. Okay, here's the situation. He wanted to purchase a post on our site. And he's done it before. Either someone did it for him or he did it. But he was much older. And we suspect maybe he had like a secretary or somebody who helped for him and and he was convinced, he's like, that his previous post when he was doing, that he would not do credit cards. But he did them all by credit card. And when we do invoices, because I have to single-handedly mail them out, I have to print them out, write everything, mail it to you, and then also do the process of my check, like you send me a check, it's $20 a handling fee. He was adamant that we have done it before, we've only ever had previous credit cards, that he was not gonna pay for this $20 It's a little hard to hear you over the game. Okay. I will after. It's like the same stuff. So. The game gets very noisy when you get into combat. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and also like I was playing Genshin before, and it's a little different. So I understand. But as I was saying, basically, I had to like go back and forth with him, but I was like, you know what? Okay, like I won't charge you, even though like it's on the thing. I'll just write in the notes that and tell our financial person that you're just gonna pay the normal price. At that point, I was already on the phone for a long time before that, because it literally took 45 minutes to help him get his own post on this thing. Damn you, Cloud. I love you very much, but how dare you do that to me? Basically, just so you know, for today, we're just right. we're just grinding. I already leveled up once, and I'm trying to get my sword to do. So that's what we're doing. Unstable. But yeah, like he was nice. Like he ended up, you know, doping over the phone and everything. It was fine, but it was really hard, especially since like I had to redo it for him. Like we had to redo the process. Like we were almost done and we had to redo the process again. Reminds me when I used to do cell phone service. Yeah. I think what mainly gets me is like when they call you for help and they get angry. And it's like, you called me for my help. You do this all like if you needed someone's help on the street, you would not you would not. Oh, it's like the same. Yeah. Just didn't get like the special effects. Okay. But yeah, thankfully most of the time when it comes to IT, it's very simple, or like they're usually on the wrong website if they don't get an email when they try to reset their password, or they have a second. Sometimes like people get really upset because they're being charged. Like this one person recently actually. And the thing is, like, the thing is, they will then try to like scare you saying that they did a dispute. But the thing is, when you do a dispute, you can't do anything. When you do a dispute with the bank and the dispute actually goes through, we lock your account because we get charged for that. Now, it used to just be that you would be charged with the itself happening, and you would get the money back if you want. But now, they charge us extra just to counter. So we get charged twice just for someone. So yeah, I'm gonna block your account. There have been a couple times where someone disputes, they never reply after you email them because we email them, asking for them to please remove the dispute and we will refund them properly. Because a lot of times they'll dispute without asking, or, you know, it's just like, it's not what they mean to ask for a refund, and then they But then, there's been a couple times where someone will dispute, they never answer me, and then we block their account, and then like a year later or something, they call, or they message us, and they're asking what happened, why do I not have access to my account, and then I really know. There's been a couple of times where it's like that. There was this one nice lady, she was nice about it. She was real nice, she was like, oh, I really like this. Did not know what the charge was, so I just moved it. But usually what we do for those small cases is, like, if they pay us the fee that we got charged, through invoice, we'll unlock their account. Say that, you know, I try to do my best to be flexible with people. There are certain things, like, when it comes to refunds and things like that, it's like, you know, I do understand as I try to place myself as, like, when I handle my customer support, I do kind of make decisions and try to base it off of, like, me, myself being a customer, but also, the customer's not always right, and even me as a customer am not always right. There have been times where I was wrong as a customer. I remember this one thing clearly, where, I don't know if you know, like, exactly, yeah. There was like a ads, routes or things. I think it was there would be like a cash area where you can get like where you can reload your tap card or your clever card. And because like near me I didn't have a close plate. Oh yeah, this was in LA. I did have like a station near me to refill the tap card and it wasn't like with the clipper card. So this is in SoCal. I didn't have a clipper card to be able to do it online, like on Clipper. For the tap card, you'd have to do that or fill it on a bus. And I usually did very fast. So I would, but you can fill up your tap card at one of these like stations in the Bronx. And sometimes I would buy like little things with me at the time, and just at the same time pay for them. You know, I did that a few times and stuff like that, and then like there was one time where it was the same cashier, but then he told me, oh, I'm not allowed to actually do that. And like I was a little shocked, and I didn't understand why, but I was like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Like, my bad, I didn't mean to make you do something that you're not supposed to do. And then I just went to the self-checkout, and like, yeah, I filled out my tab there. But then I went to the self-checkout and paid for my drink there. Like, yeah, the only reason why I bought the drink was because it was at the same time. But he said, no, he couldn't do it. Most likely his boss saw, or there was another instance or something. Or maybe he accidentally sold, like, because he was very young. So maybe he accidentally sold something that he wasn't supposed to at the cash wrap for that particular reason. Or he's not supposed to open the register or something. You know, who knows? Whatever the reason is, he said he can't do it. And I just accepted it. Even though he had done it for me several times before. Because you know what? Policies change. And lots of times policies change because people are assholes. It's the whole, like, one person ruins it for everybody else. Very true, yeah. I'm gonna fill up my water again. I actually was drinking quite a lot of water. That was a good egg. Fill out my water. But yeah, I'm definitely not perfect. I think a little bit has to do with like emotional maturity. Being like flexible as in like you know, sometimes things change and you can't force the person to do what you want just because like they did it for you before. Or even if they never did it before, or you went somewhere else and they claim that they did it for you. I remember this one time when this was at the coffee place where, you know, I was very strict where like we had a policy which made sense where for the cash wrap, because I was the managing supervisor, when opening up the cash wrap and everything, only when a purchase was made can it be opened. The supervisor is able to open it for other circumstances, but the policy is it only is opened during the transaction when someone's paying for something with cash. And I remember late at night there was this man who was, oh man, there was this man who, I'd never seen him before because I rarely had worked nights, but you know, on occasion I would be closed. And he came in and he wanted us to open the register, even though there was a bank next door with like an ATM. He wanted us to open the register just to give him change. And like obviously only like there was no transaction going on, and only I'm able to because it's only one supervisor. And I told him like you know, you can get change after like you do a transaction. Like if you do a transaction, then the cash wrap will open up and then we get the change then. And he's like, no, just open up the register. And I'm like, we're not a bank. Like, I said it just, not in a mean way, but I was like, we're not a bank. We can't. That's not the policy. Because I'm a little bit of a stickler of the rules, mainly because I follow a philosophy of I can't get away with anything ever. Every single time I have ever tried to be sneaky or smooth or anything, I always get caught. Never have I not been caught really for something. Ever. So I usually am a very big stickler of like following the rules. Obviously, if they're, they make sense and stuff. I'm not gonna like, because they claim something is a rule and it's stupid or immoral, I'm not gonna follow it, obviously. But, for these kind of things, I really stick to the rules of, because it can come back to me. What if he was doing a short, because also there's people who do the short change scam, or the quick change scam. Yeah, the quick change scam. Where basically, because there was another man, I'll tell you that story. There was another man who told me that. But basically, going back to this guy, he then wanted to like pull me to the side and like reprimand me and told me how, I love this, where they try to say how they had been in like a similar business for like X amount of years. He was telling me that he was in customer support, like customer service for 30 years, and he didn't like my customer service. And I'm thinking to myself, if you were in customer service for 30 years, you would know damn well why I do not want to open up this register just because you're asking me to. Just because you claim that you want change. Also, we usually need change. We have a very specific, like the cash up in the mornings, we only start with like $300 worth of change. And like early in the morning, some of these assholes will decide that they want to give us a $100 bill for a small coffee. All the time, there would at least be like one person at the start of the week or something like that where we have a fresh new register, and they want to start the day with giving us a $100 bill for a $2 coffee, and all our change is gone. They can't just give you a change, just because you walk in here and feel like it. But also, it's not safe for us to just open the register. What if you have a gun? Like, unfortunately, we live in the US of A. You could just decide that you want to rob us as soon as we open up the register. That's why we weren't allowed to put our blinds down in our store. Because we were required, as a policy, to make it so people outside could see inside. Even when it would be like extremely hot, we weren't allowed. It was also for art. Then this guy, like I eventually was like basically like, because unfortunately at the time like we would do like we would get surveys, and unfortunately like the general manager would be like honest about stupid stuff like that. People being upset. So. But then there was this one guy. His name was. None of us liked him because he straight up, what he would do is he would come in to the damn store, he would go to the big case, grab a sandwich, not pay for it, and just start sitting down in the damn lobby and eating it, and then you tell him how his father, this is grown man, probably in his 40s, his father was gonna come and pay for it later, and they never did, ever. We just scalp sandwiches from him all the time, and I don't know how he would manage to just like, I guess because he would buy a coffee like sometimes once. This guy, he once tried it. He once tried this shit with doing a quick change scam shit while our general manager was doing a tour for our corporate people, for the corporate people. This man decided that he wanted to try during my shit to quick change scam my young, just starting out barista. Thankfully, she did not allow it. So she made the rule of not opening, because once you close that door, you do not open it again unless there is another transaction. And he wanted to try to like, he wanted her to open up the door, and then I was like telling him no, we're not going to open the door without another transaction. And then he tried to bring in the district manager and like talk shit about me. When the district manager's like, well no, that's right, that is a policy. And he started bringing up shit. He was trying to, because he was trying to get her to do change. And then he was like claiming that it was the wrong change when she had done the right change the first time. And she closed the drawer. But he was trying to be like, oh no, I want to, like, because basically what the quick change scam is, as they give you a certain bill, like usually a large bill, and while you're trying to give the change, they will change up how they want the change to be. At first they'll be like 420, then they'll be like 420 to 210, 320 to 210, and then they'll start like making it even more complicated just to make you confused and accidentally give it more change. But she did the change correctly, like where she did the change as like where she's supposed to. She's just like 20s and 10s whenever she's able to. She counted correctly and closed the door right. And he got mad because he wasn't gonna open the door. Oh, and this same dude. Douchebag. I'm sorry, I personally did not like this guy. Oh, there was another guy I'll have to tell you about. We called him Paul. But for Greg, he really pissed me off during the pandemic. Because I remember doing the register. You know, we're required to wear masks and everything. And this man in front of me, at the register, he had to go to pull off his mask, his fully covered mask. He had to go and pull off his damn mask and then proceed to sneeze. He sneezed all over my damn counter. Wet sneeze all over. Oh, this is the first time I've seen this guy. I think, hell yeah. I love how we do things with him. I remember when he did that in front of me, I saw red. I saw red and I chewed him out. I told him, okay, I'm back. Welcome back. Had to grab my pizza? No worries. Pizza is more important. I was just telling you my story about this person, this old customer at the coffee shop in Greg. He really tried my food. But this was like what topped for me, other than him trying to attempt a quick change scam. He would scalp our sandwiches. This is the rundown. He would scalp our sandwiches. Tried to do a quick change scam in front of our district manager, who was giving our corporate office people a tour of our store. Then, during the pandemic, he had his mask on. He came up to me. He came up to order. He took off his mask and then proceeded to sneeze all over the place during the pandemic. And I chewed him out for it. I chewed him out for it and told him, like, what the hell he thinks he's doing. And he was like, oh, it would be gross. I'm like, I sneeze in my mask and I think it's gross, but I still do it. I was so done. Oh, but then there was another guy named Paw Patrol. We named him Paw Patrol. He was a man. I don't know if he was homeless. I don't know if he said he was, but I I have no idea. That's not my business to judge. All I know is that basically he would buy some food and a coffee, and he would, from the moment we opened to the moment we closed, he sat in our lobby the whole fucking day. And that was really the worst part because we had a couple people who would do that kind of stuff. We had this other old lady who was racist. She was just problematic because she would always try to like tattle on like she tried to tattle on the Santa claim that this man had touched her when he clearly didn't. She clearly just didn't want him sitting next to her because of what he looked like. And then the poor guy felt so bad. He was thinking I was going to kick him out. And I was like, no, I'm not going to kick him out. Like, I just want you guys to just sit away from me. She was trying to accuse him of stuff, and it's like, no, I know we're back. It's not because, like, they were right sitting in front of me. It was not happening at all. And also, I didn't want to be like that person who was like, kick him out of this stupid accusation. I had no... Because she would do it to other people, so it wasn't just because there was other times. There was another time where this was legitimate, where there was this college girl. There was this college girl who was trying to study at her lobby, and this grown man just came in and started flirting, and he looked so uncomfortable, and I could tell like she had no idea who he was. Decided that he was going to try to, I don't know, she looked very uncomfortable. I asked him like just straight up, I was like, do you know her? And he was like, no. And so I told the girl to come up to me and then we got security. Because he didn't even buy anything, he was just in there. But yeah, Paw Patrol. The worst part for him, not just staying in all day, it would annoy me because at most it should be about 2 hours that you stay, unless you continue to buy stuff. Like, there's been times where I've had to stay because of fumigations or something like that. I've had to stay in a coffee shop for a long time. But I continue to buy, so it's worth, you know, the business's time that you stay there. You never would buy anything else. You would just buy the one thing and then like stay the entire day. But the worst part is sometimes he would use the restroom, and we only had one restroom, and he would use the restroom for like 30 minutes. We don't know what he's doing in there. Have no idea. But one time he was using the restroom for so long that our customers were complaining, and I wasn't on that shift, but another supervisor was. And she knocked on the door and told him that he needed to get out. Like, people are wanting to use the restroom. And he proceeded to try to, because he's very tall, he proceeded to tower over her and get in her face and call her a bitch. And so, like, I already knew, like, for a while, he was not allowed in the store. For a long while, he wasn't allowed after that point. But our new manager, the traded managers, we got a new manager, he didn't know. So he allowed him to come back. So he started coming back again and, you know, being a nuisance. And that kind of pissed off our supervisor, understandably so. She was understandably upset. But it turned out, like, after they were able to talk it out, that he just didn't know that had happened. So we allowed him, and since we allowed him back, we can't just kick him out. But I had a bit of a 9:30 thank you very much. We'll do like a couple more. I know it's been boring. It's just a grinding. Maybe I'll get another level though. I am hoping for that. But I was a little suspicious that the same thing would occur because I heard the story before. I didn't quite know if it was the same person, but I had an inkling. So this guy, he was taking over 20 minutes in the bathroom, and it was during rush time, so there was a lot, and it was pouring out. So obviously people wanted to stay inside and stay for longer, and they would want to use our restroom. you know, they paid money, they want to use their restroom. And I remember I went and knocked on the door, but I quickly went into the, like, our protected area. Because for some reason I just knew this was, so he opened up the door and screamed how he was trying to take a fucking shit. His words. And you know, we continued to rush, but he was like, "Who was it that knocked?" And I'm like, "I'm the one who knocked. Like, people need to use the restroom." I wasn't being rude, but it's like people need to use the restroom. You need to hurry up. Like, you can't just stay there. Like, if there was multiple stalls, sure, just stay in one stall. But there aren't. It's just a private restroom. You know. But then, like, during rush hour, this guy decided that he wanted to try to yell at me. He wanted to try to yell at me. He thankfully didn't swear at me, because that would have been, like, I would have been very strict. Like, I have, like, an internal rule. If someone swears at me, as in, like, they call me a bitch, or, that kind of thing. And not just, like, they're just, not like when he said, "Oh, I'm trying to fucking shit." That's different. He's not swearing at me, he's just like emphasizing. But he thankfully didn't swear at me, because when people swear at me, you're no longer a customer to me. I do not give a fuck. If you swear at me, you're no longer a customer to me. But thankfully he didn't do that, but he came and started yelling at me. And I told, like, I already had called security because I already knew that he was going to be a problem. And as the security walked in, and he was like, this guy was yelling at me, and and I was like, you know what? I told the security guard, yes, I want him to be kicked out for the rest of the day. I was even being nice. I was just telling him that for the rest of this day, he cannot be in here. He could come tomorrow. I wasn't even gonna be like banned forever, because I didn't have that power. He didn't do something worse enough for that, but I was like, you know what? Kick him out. And then, because it was raining out and everything, this guy started groveling. He was groveling, begging me not to kick him out, because it was raining out and he didn't know where else to go. For a while, I was like, nope, you need to go. But because, damn. If it wasn't raining, I definitely would have been like, no, you need to actually go. But because it was raining, he's so lucky. I wasn't gonna. I was too nice. Because it was raining, and because he didn't swear at me, I didn't. But man, he never spoke to me again, as in a good way. He never. I told him, like, don't you ever talk to me again, and he never talked to me again. But yeah, there's been times I remember I had grown adults apologize to me. There was one time where this guy, I think what happened was because it was during the pandemic, and he was getting too close to somebody else. So I told him, like, you need to back up, like you need to back away from the other person, because he was crowding. And it was making him uncomfortable. I'm like, we had to be reasonable. People are being shut down for not following these regulations all the time. And this guy, I was mixing the two. I'll continue on with this one. This guy then started he just started trying to treat me like shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna serve you. And then he was like, he was getting all upset, and then he was trying to get pull other customers in, trying to make it out like I'm in the wrong, when it's I don't have to serve you. It is literally not the law that I have to serve you. This isn't the hospital where I need to treat you. I think with that guy, I ended up just saying, but there was a second person. There was a second guy. It was really just where he was just giving me attitude, or he was like abnormally like raising his voice at me or something like that. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, I think I was really pissed. I don't know what he was saying, but I remember chewing him out a little bit. I told him like, you know what? You don't talk to people like that. You don't talk to me like that. And, I got him to apologize. Oh, you know what? He wasn't saying it to me. He was saying it to another customer. That's fine. I think he was saying it to a customer, or he was saying it to my barista or something. He was saying it to somebody else. Because I'm always a lot more able to stand up for other people than I am for myself. When they hit a certain line, I will stand up for myself. Like that threshold. Once I don't consider them a customer anymore, I don't have to worry about them. Like once I know I'm in the right, pretty much, that is when. That is when I will make sure. Obviously, I do my best to be as professional as possible. Even though I'm swearing and all this kind of stuff here, I never swear. Ever. I really hold myself back quite a bit. Woohoo! Please, please, please. No, Captain! Oh, the god. Sometimes it's a little hard to like outright stand up for myself, unless like there's a whole major reaction. If they're just like upset and stuff, then like sometimes it's because they're upset, but they're not being like completely unreasonable with them being upset. So I don't like it when like in the current job, like I don't like it when users just like stand or something like that. When like, if there was an actual like reason where maybe I accidentally got a duplicate or something, I mean, always a refund. I just need to prove it, investigate a little bit, and prove it. Now, because I don't want you to be dumb. I don't even ask for my name. If I couldn't connect it, I was dumb. It's fair, but it. You just like forgot, like this one guy, he called me and he continued to try to guilt trip me off. He for like half an hour when I was on the phone with him. He was telling me, so basically he just claimed that he did not realize that on his credit card he was being charged on a monthly basis for 7 years. He was trying to get me to give him a refund of 7 years worth of it. Because he didn't realize that he was being charged that for that long. Because I guess like his debit card was automatically paid off the balance of his credit card. And he was very calm on the phone, and like I tried to apologize and say, maybe I could do like if it's something for like a month or 3 months or something, but I can't like even like upfront. I had to tell him like upfront, I cannot do that. That is just impossible. There is no way he would accept it. And then because he was charged that, he would then tell me like, oh, like, oh, you don't have to ask for an acceptance. You don't have to talk to me about that. I'm just gonna forever have to badmouth your company. Forever. From now on. And they continue to tell me, saying those words like badmouth the company. And I'm just thinking like, it is entirely your fault. I pay very close attention. Now I'm not like as obsessed. I at least check a minimum once a week or once a month. And now especially since I budget right now, minimum once a month. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, level up. And 4% proficiency. I swear. This is not the first time. There was another person who, like, for 5 years ago, there was one person where I felt bad. They were getting double charged because they didn't realize their account was also. I felt bad. I gave them, like, a 1 month. And then I taught them how to, like, cancel. And, yeah, there's several people all the time. It's like the number one. Though sometimes there was like this one person in the class, because we don't do refunds for the class, because I have full control over the class. I have full agency to decline people's refunds and not, because even when they asked, like there was this one person recently, last term. This woman was very upset because people can enroll at any time, but like they're registering for that and they'll lose access. Like, because we do get people who study late in the term, people who run for the exam and things like that. Like, we can't just force people just right at the beginning like school. It's just like, because it's online. But it is like turn based. Because we have an instructor who answers people's questions and like he's in there active, so we can't just like have him there 24/7 like all the time. It's just kind of slow. And there was this one lady who was I was offering for her. I was saying, you know what, you didn't use much of the class. You can join the next term. That's usually my solution. Instead of like people who want a refund or they wish they did the class and they feel like they didn't have access, I just put them in the next term. And they'll have the full access for that next term. And damn, you're really cool. Well, at least I didn't get it done. And this lady was she was just so mad at the fact that we had like, that she had like a limited time. Even though I was telling her, you could be in the next term, you can have that full term to study. You can have it, you could be in there. No extra cost. She like demanded a manager. She was demanding my manager and a refund. And I was like, one, I ignored her, I just ignored her request for a manager because my manager, whenever there's a decision about the class, she always just tells me, use your best, like use your best, she basically just has me make the decision because she does nothing with the class. I'm the one who actually manages. I do everything for the class. I do all the operations for the class. So when this person is like getting like angry and demanding, I just ignored the thing, and I ignored also I ignored both her request for a manager and a refund. in my reply. I just skillfully did not mention it in my reply and just mentioned all our features and how she will be in the next term, no cost, and you know, she'll have access to all of our practice exams and also our flashcards that we have, and also the webinar if she wants to join it, and then all this other stuff. And then finally I think she gave up. I think she realized that I was purposefully ignoring her request, and she was not gonna win because I was not gonna give her a refund because I have agency with that. And I know the class like the back of my hand. I know because there was this other guy who was trying to. I'll tell you that story too. But yeah, thankfully she accepted it, even though she said that she was unsatisfied with it. It's like, you did not have enough time to be unsatisfied with it. You just didn't like that you lost the access, even though I decided to give you more access. So it was just, she just didn't like it, even though it's in the registration page are there. It also is in our confirmation email with your account information on it. It is there. I get it quite often. I get it quite often that people get very surprised, even though it's in the confirmation email. And the registration and access dates are right in the, and it's in the FAQs. Every single time people are surprised about it. Every single time. I've tried telling my coworkers, maybe we need to make it huge. But they're like, no, like, honestly, it's on them. But then there was this other dude. Okay, this was pretty bad. Last term. Is that it for tonight? Yeah, basically. I'll just tell you more shit stories, but... Oh yeah, because it's almost... We could do one more. We'll do one more. One more, because I'm just grinding, because I'm just trying to get levels. But I'm now at 30%. Or, what's my level? I'm now at level 38, so that's good. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I planned on just grinding, because when last Friday, or no, last week, or yeah, sometime last week, I did a thing. I don't think anyone was with me. I was streaming, but I was by myself. It was a chill day. But I failed every mission. Every new mission I tried, I failed it. So I need to grind. That's why we're doing this. I'll be honest. You know, I'm at a point. I can't do the level 6s. I need to, you know, do it, and then hopefully I've leveled up enough that I can do the level 6s. Also getting in some of the DMVs, or whatever they are. Getting some more of those. Yeah. But yeah, this one dude last time. So he registered the same month as the exam, and he only went through the class for 7 days. So our class is designed for you to be studying 100 hours for this exam. This exam requires practicing people of this profession. It requires for you to for you to stand a chance as a practicing person in the industry. It expects, like, in order for you to stand a chance of passing this exam, you need to study 80 to 120 hours on average. And then it's entirely dependent on, like, your experience, your life experience, your work experience, how well you can maintain certain information, how well you can take tests, how well, like, your day is that day. Like, there's so much for this exam. And in our class, we on average get a 90% pass, when the national average is like in the 60s, 50s, 60s. So we have, like, the top. And this guy, he only logged in 7 days and it was the same month as the exam, so I'm certain he took the class. He registered for the class right before crunching for his exam, only logged on for 7 days, didn't even do that much, and then he emailed me and was demanding a refund, saying that we lied about what we promised. When like he had no time, and also I can go through the logs. Like sometimes like people will lie and say that they never logged in or something like that. I could see every single hit that we made. Everything. Even when I log in as it will put. I see it all. People are wild. Yeah, so he was demanding a refund, saying that we were doing false advertising, and so I pointed out all of it. I wrote like a dissertation because I was so mad. Because I'm the one who puts the stuff in the class. I'm the one who, like recently we had a whole new exam, 170 question exam. I had to put in all the questions, all the answers to the questions, and then test it 170 times. Like, I do a lot for this. This class is a little bit like my baby because it's the one thing I have like complete ownership of, other than our instructor. I have complete ownership of what we're doing for this class, basically. So it's like my baby. So when this guy said that we were doing false advertising with certain points and stuff like that, I wrote like a 3-page dissertation. I had the smarts to ask my manager to go over it, and then I narrowed it down to like a 1-page dissertation. He backed out. He didn't say anything. Yeah, right, he didn't say anything. How dare you say that we're falsely advertising? I think because I took it definitely personal. Because I'm the one that's in there all the time. I do the operations. And also I could see that he was in there for 7 days. And like the reason why he wanted a refund, I bet $1 million he failed his exam. Because he decided to take our class 7 days before he took his exam. And then he failed it when on average you're supposed to study. Like, our studying schedule, it says it in there. It's with the assumption that you're studying with our class, with our studying schedule, 100 hours. He did not study for 100 hours in those 7 days. He did not even have that many hits after 3 months of the class. So this guy most likely failed, and then he got pissy, and then he wanted a refund because like the class was expensive and I wasn't even gonna get it. Like if he wanted to re-register for the class, he would have to. I was not gonna put in another term for free. Because usually, you know, if they don't use much of the class, there's a certain point that is pretty common. Usually people will join, they'll go through like the beginner part, they'll take the free test, and then they'll just drop off. I usually be in the next term. Sometimes lately, because there's a lot of them who do that, I'm like, you could be in the next term for free, but then the next time you're gonna need to transfer, but then next time you are gonna need to. Because we have a 50% return. Like a 50% off. So basically we get a class for 50% off. Which is very generous. Any returning student, I've had people who take the class like 7 times. 50% off every single time. Very generous. And in our last term, we had about a 91% so far, because I do the pass rate too. I also collect everyone's feedback. I determine the things that we come up. I also manage our instructor as he's doing his deliverables per quarter, so that we can get invoiced properly. I'm the one who ran everything for, other than his presentation. Webinar that we just had. Like, this guy did not stand a chance. Like, how dare you? And I will never forget.
我が社の不祥事の痕跡は全て消される。それを支えるのも 我々タースの仕事だ。
またそれかよ。後悔すんなよ。
Yeah, my watch is charging.
だから頑張ってるって。
Having a nice longer streak. But yeah, after this session, we'll have to finish because I do have a lot of testing I have to do tomorrow. I have a big meeting tomorrow. And then I have to prep for our AI meeting. I was saying it before, but sometimes these summons like pull me out of it. Because I feel like the effects of the summons just seem vastly different. Maybe it's because this is it feels vastly different. It's like a whole game. Hey, you have a girlfriend, Zach.
ああ、そうか。今忙しいからちょっと遅れるわ。
牛は
お？そう。
忙しいのは終わったか。
後悔すんなよ。
Unless it was before she never.
だから頑張ってるって。
Hell yeah, level up. One hand, basically. Fan postcards over.
ソルジャーの誇りを見せてみろ。 This is a little silly.
Yes, Cloud.
楽勝楽勝うわっサッツ伏せて
Oh, look at
優
him.
しい顔してなかなかやるね助かったよサンキューな役に立った
Look
な
at
よかった
him. He's the best.
後悔すんなよこれがソルジャーなのかとっておきのお見舞いしてやれ
We're done. And it feels like there's a great one here.
待てシスネソがどこでもあのスーツなのか
ひょっとして水着姿見たかった？
いや熱くないのかなって
何をしている？急ぐぞ。
熱くないのか
ダックスが勝てる。
Finally. Okay. Alright. He's just gonna do his squats.
というわけで
He does not know how to relax.
よしとりあえずスクワットだなえいえい
Thank you. Alright. Well, that is the end of today's stream, but thank you for allowing me to just rant. Rant so much. Good night. Thank you. Good night. I hope that you'll have a good night. Rant and vent, yes. I will never... That is the one thing. I will never forgive. Never forgive. Never forgive and never forget those particular ones. But you know what? They're funny stories, though. But they are of the past. But they are crazy stories. I have quite a bit of crazy stories, specifically from that job. Not so much at this job, thankfully. But you know, sometimes I will have to tell you stories about when people come into the office because they're not supposed to. People are not supposed to come to our office. Only I go in our office. So, I'll have to tell you about the Amazon lady, but I'll do that tomorrow. That'll be a cliffhanger about the Amazon lady who she was a little stalkerish. I'll tell you about that. But tomorrow we will continue. I will be around tomorrow. Hell yeah. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be continuing. We'll try now that I'm more leveled up. We'll try the other missions. Maybe I do need to, you know, change also my materia and, you know, work around some of my equipment and stuff. But yeah. But thank you, Devils, and also thank you, Ronan, as always. I really appreciate it. We'll go ahead and see who we can raid. Hopefully yesterday's stream of Mukon was good. Oh, Blaze is on. And they're playing Dragon Quest. So we'll go ahead and give them a raid. Oh, it looks like right now he's doing card stuff. And I see Ronan is already in there. So we'll go ahead and give them a raid. Because it looks like even though he has Dragon Quest, as of right now, he is showing off his cards. So we'll go ahead and do that. But, as I said, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Hopefully, today was good. Hopefully tomorrow will also be even better. If you have work, hopefully it's good. If you don't have work, I hope you have a good day off. And now we'll get to raid. So, as always, be good raiders, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.